again. I am one of your co-hosts. Flash Attack Jack, Crypto Creep, Captain Handsome, Dr. Death, the Master of the Universe, the best soccer player in the world. Right here. Thank you for joining this episode. Please like, subscribe, and share. We're only 900 subscribers away from the goal. Please do that. Tell your friends to subscribe. Keep listening. Keep doing what you do. Go to the Facebook group today, Agents of Calamity group. Talk about a lot of weird stuff in there. Instagram at AOC Operatives. Twitter at AOC_operatives. All of the content for free at www.agentsofcalamity.com. And once again, I am not alone. I brought friends with me.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is I, the flying can of spam, the Pineapple Man. I fell in a toxic pit of goo, trying to rescue a pineapple full.
I'm not sure, dude, but you look a little bit like you might not be from this world.
I'm from Uranus.
That explains it all. How come they get a hold of you, Uranus traveler?
Phone home.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm just saying, like, you see those creepy ass things. Yeah, man.
Around the room?
Huh?
Around this room or in general?
In general.
Dude, some of the people I see in the world feel like they've come out of someone's anus or something.
Like what? You have like
they just like, if you combine people of Walmart with people of Knoebels,
dude, people...
For the most part, those people come from Cole Township or Shamokin.
Oh, bud.
People at Walmart kind of scares me because I see them. And then
What
I'm like...
What scares you about them?
Because the differential, like how different some people are is like scary.
Alright, I'm not shaming because like I'm overweight. But what the hell, man? I see the most obese people at Walmart.
Me too. And that's when they're active.
I don't know what kind of people you see, because usually I see those buggers get in on those little scooter carts.
That's what I'm saying. That's active.
And they don't even need them.
That's active.
Why do people use them?
Because they're fucking obese. Greased obese, dude. In the East.
Speaking of grease, I think greasy looks like new fashion.
What do you mean?
I don't know. A lot of the servers at my place of employment go for like this greasy look.
Greasy look.
Like, you're dealing with patrons, you're selling them food, but your hair's like all natty and greasy. Like, why?
Are you sure that's a fashion trend and not them just being very poor kept?
Because you see a lot of college students that kind of look that way too.
So you're telling me...
It's all about the grease lightning, baby.
It's grease lightning nowadays.
Yeah.
That's like a thing.
All up on the white lightning, then you get grease lightning. Really conducive for actual lightning.
What would John Travolta say?
I don't know who John Travolta is.
He's an actor. He played burning myself. He played
How do you know? I might be John Travolta. Let me pull this mask off. Huh. Face off.
You got a 3D printed Franklin mask just to pull that off.
Can you imagine that? What would you do if I came in here with...
What would you do?
What would you do if I came in here with a 3D printed Franklin mask?
How would I know?
Then I would rip it off in the middle of a podcast and I'm a black dude.
I wouldn't be surprised, dude.
Then I rip that off. Then it's your face.
Dude, you know how hard it would be to breathe?
Then I rip that off. Then these dreads pop out.
And you're Sam?
I'm like, yo! 24K snow.
And then you're Sam,
Yeah.
dude. What the
What would
Well-
do you think someone would have dosed you?
They would have to have. Yeah.
You don't think it's possible to pull that off?
No.
Dude, I'm sure like the Jackass movie, they could probably pull something like
Not the five mask pulls. There's no fucking way, dude.
There's a way.
You were fucking struggling in the fucking...
I'd have to use a Sammy mask first to get all the other masks under it.
Exactly. And that'd be a heavy fucking mask. Because as we know, Sammy has a fat head, dude. Sammy's head is fucking fat, dude. Like, I had to have my doors, like, to the HQ and widen. Because his head is just fucking enormous.
It's all that knowledge, homie.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's just big. I wonder about the mass proportional onset and the gravitational pull towards his head sometimes. I worry.
Dude, if I was wearing all those masks and somehow was able to stand on the surface of the sun, my
You?
head would be crushed because gravity would pull all those masks down right to the center of my brain.
What if a bunch of billionaires told you that you could travel really close to the sun in this?
Using Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons.
Yeah. How would you feel about that?
I'd pay them upwards of $250,000.
It's a little bit more. It's gonna be your life.
And you're being launched out of North Korea.
Yo, not to sidetrack that, but what did you do?
Magic?
No, what
Hey,
about...
Before you go on with that, how long is a Chinaman?
How long is a Chinaman?
Yeah, how long is a Chinaman?
56 centimeters.
No, how long is a Chinaman?
You're right. I think I met that guy. Once.
Yeah, alright, go on.
Alright. No, but what if I were to say to you, hey bud, we're gonna go to the sun. And then you're like, why? Why are we going to the sun? Saying like, because we can.
That'd be like it's impossible. Gravity would crush you.
Maybe. Maybe.
And I think you're smart enough to know that and not want to venture to the sun.
No, I already built the sun ship.
There's
The sun.
it's the heat resistance rating on the sunshine.
Oh, now we're gonna get technical.
Well, like you're already saying it's not going to get crushed by gravity.
Well, we're in a vacuum. I'm not worried about pressure.
Yeah, but once you get to the sun, you're going to get...
Maybe I know this guy that makes heat mints for the oven,
Oh, yeah?
right?
Okay, I'm following.
And he says that he could develop a liner that would make my vessel operate. I should be able to get to the sun.
Let me stop you there.
Alright?
Do you have dirty information on politicians around the world, specifically Biden and Hunter Biden?
They have some. What was that?
Right, so
What
then
was that?
I'd probably sell you this ship to the sun too. And then I'd make you disappear.
So wait. You're saying that some of my friends might not have my best interest
It
in
may
life?
not have your best interest because you have knowledge of the airplanes they've been using flying around the Caribbean to
What airplanes?
hijack and traffic little kids.
Little kids.
Yeah. Selling them into the sex trade.
Hell yeah, that makes good money.
So
I mean, that's horrible.
You would go to the sun because of that then?
No, but what's next, dude?
Like,
Obviously, we're joking, guys. We're joking.
what about going to the sun?
No,
Oh.
about our feelings.
Oh. You know, if you only had one leg and you're Chinese, I would name you Taiwan Shu.
That's racist, Frank. Is that racist?
No. Why is it racist?
I'm just saying, Taiwan Shoe. That's legitimate, though.
Yeah.
It's too legitimate. I don't know if I'm allowed to laugh at that. That's fucking.
Dude, you can laugh whatever you want. It's a free world.
I laugh, dude. That's fucking.
So
No.
how do you feel about those guys taking the submarine 12,000 feet deep?
I think they
Do you
kind
know what
of.
max debt is for submarines?
Is that like 10?
4,000.
4,000? I was way off, dude. Yeah, so these guys, they went out like, what, 20K?
Yeah, well,
I know Cameron did it
it's
before.
12K.
Okay.
But you figure giant submarines at 12K, they're just too big and there's just too much pressure.
Too much pressure, right?
Yeah, so that's why you need the little bobber.
And when. Yeah, I don't think they had a little bobbers.
Yeah, they did 3 of them. With a little controller, and they looked at the wreckage on a screen. Bro, if you wanted to look at a wreckage of the Titanic on a screen, you could have like rented my living room TV for 250K.
A seat.
Right. You could have had like your whole family there. Then your stepson wouldn't be going to all these concerts and asking people to pray and forgive.
Blink
Blink 182.
Yeah, that adds more to the context. Like, did this guy know, like, their mommy and daddy were like, don't worry, no matter what you hear, we're gonna be okay. Like, did you ever see that conspiracy shit? Like, they were just like, maybe these people, because it was such an arbitrary or random assignment of people, and you only have 6 of
One
these.
was a treasure hunter that gathered stuff from the wreckage for artifacts. The rest were like rich people, right?
One was a Saudi prince
Yeah.
with his son, who was also, as you know, how the monarchy works or whatever.
Do you think they were sacrificed for the greater good?
No, maybe they
Or do you think they faked their
they
death?
faked their fucking death.
Dude, but like, why is it and why do we think that way now? We think things are false flags. We people think people fake their deaths.
Because people do, I think.
Why not get shot?
Well,
Why not go to Vegas and get a car roll up on you and get popped?
more people, more witnesses. How many people are going to be up there in the middle of the ocean and be like, I've seen him die? Like, all you have to do
Dude,
is...
if it was such a like big thing to travel to the wreckage, don't you think there'd be a website?
It is a big thing.
Don't you think there'd be a website where we could track the little things, see where they're
Wait,
at?
you think we can just go to the Titanic, and, get a ticket, and go check out the Titanic?
If you have $250,000, yeah.
No, it's just only been done a handful of times. Like, even James Cameron didn't go himself most of the time. He used Alvin.
Yeah, who cares about James Cameron though?
He's the only other one, except those fucking dudes in the 30s.
What's James Cameron famous for?
Titanic?
What else?
The Thing?
What else?
Wait, no, that's John Carpenter.
Oh yeah, that is John Carpenter.
I don't know, a bunch of shit. I can't even off the top of my head, but he has a bunch of others. But Avatar? I never watched it.
Do you know where he got the idea?
Smurfs.
Beyond the Ice Wall.
You're surrounded by books about the ice wall,
I
dude.
know.
The dude that created it, his diction, his fucking diary is literally right
Do
there.
you think the ice wall exists on a globe Earth or a flat Earth?
It would have to be a flat Earth.
So why are you surrounded with so many ice wall books?
Because I
Because you're
listen.
skeptical about it.
I listen.
So you have a little inkling that the Earth might be flat.
I think it's interesting to hear what the opponents say against what
You have
what
it
you
all, so
believe.
you could have necessary doubt.
Necessary doubt.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's true.
Because an inkling.
Why,
of
you're
you
not
wants
wanting
to
to
believe-
splat.
No, I'm just saying an inkling of you wants to believe it because you want to be a connoisseur in the knowledge.
Well, I
of it.
want to believe that. I want to believe UFOs are real. I want to believe sea monsters are real. I want to believe ghosts are real.
Speaking of UFOs, not to cut you off,
I go for it.
on the way to Williamsport on 15, right there above Allenwood,
Okay.
where the new Sheets is, did you see someone release a drone video
Oh.
and a little object went flying by his drone?
No shit.
Did someone post to the group or did I see it somewhere else?
I haven't seen that in the
Well,
group.
when I see it, I'm
But the
gonna send
group
it
has
to you.
been getting a lot more posts from
I'm
people.
gonna send you this. It's like this little ball. The drone's like a bird's eye view of like that whole area, and this little thing goes whoosh. Dude even slows it down. It's just like it looked like a little pill, but it's just
But it would be bigger in real life, right? Is that what you're saying?
It's probably the size of like, I don't know.
I don't need the fucking dimensions. Just describe a bus, a car, what?
No, maybe 5x a football.
Oh, just like microscopic. That's probably a bug down, dude.
Flying that fast?
Next to a drone? Depends what kind of lens is on that fucking drone.
Probably a wide angle lens. Like
why would an alien come in a 5 foot?
Because we're that size to other aliens around other suns. Look at, how do you pronounce it? Betelgeuse? Betelgeuse? Betelgeuse?
Yeah.
Look how big that sun is compared to our sun.
That's like mind confounding.
So like maybe we could bend the fabric of time, right? Send a ship to a habitable planet around that sun.
Okay.
And we get there and one of those giants are flying a drone around and we go zipping by. Who's to say there's no little humanoids like that big?
You're right. You're talking about the size that was relevant to the people playing.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case, not to strip you, we'll have to go jump back on this one, but then why couldn't leprechauns exist?
Who's to say they don't
Why
exist?
couldn't fairies be like a real thing?
Who's to say they're not?
A lot of people.
Lore comes from somewhere.
Exactly.
Like,
do you think fairies...
There's bodies of guineas of people really small that have been found, but they write it off as infants.
Huh. What about the opposite?
Well,
Giants.
they wrote the Smithsonian had proof of giants way back when.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
That's what they say. Everything vanishes. Do you think that though? Do you believe that?
I think at one time Earth had enough oxygen to produce larger scale humanoids.
Yeah, I believe that. But humans would have to be around though. They would have to already be existing in that timetable.
Yeah, but who's to say they didn't?
We haven't found any.
Maybe they left.
What do you mean?
Maybe they became Skywalkers and went to explore space.
Oh wait, so you're giving them a lot of intelligence. Did they do that on their own, or was there?
I feel Earth recycles itself. I feel at one point in time they were less primitive than we are. I still feel that we might be at a primitive state based on technology.
Like as far as what, like recovering from like a great flood?
Or something like that. I feel like we should be further along.
You think so?
I think so.
Now what makes you feel this way, like in particular?
Goes back to past episodes of Secret Knowledge.
Okay, well this is a rehash of
breakaway civilizations. Like when the F-16, like those series of jets came out, they were like 20, 30 years old.
Sorry to stop you. Graham Hancock, the writer or whatever, he says that there was a cosmic collision with Earth around 13,000 years ago.
Was that with Tiamat when it collided?
I don't know exactly.
You know what I mean when I'm talking about Tiamat?
Well, Tiamat's a Final Fantasy VII character.
But it was also a conspiracy planet.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about then. There's an orbital belt of asteroids that goes around the Earth every certain like
12,600
yeah,
years.
whatever. This isn't a conspiracy. This is like
no, it is.
Shit.
Isn't it 12,600 years?
Yeah, and sometimes
that belt's based off of Planet X as well as Nibiru.
That could be. I haven't heard that. But my assumption was because we go through that tail right around that time, and they were saying that maybe we got hit by like the end of like because every year like if you look at Earth. Like, take away everything. And just look at, like, we've been fucked up. Earth's been hit, like, billions of times. And they're just saying that, like, at this time there was a remnant, and there could still be remnants out there. I don't know when it'll hit. But they were saying that it hit and wiped away the civilization that existed then.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, and I feel like the technologies they've had at the time could have been greater than ours.
Like, the main thing, I know it's fucking cliche and, like, all that shit is, like, the pyramids, though.
Magic, ether, levitation.
Because, like, to move those blocks, even if they used mastodons and shit like that, it would take so fucking long.
I go with telekinesis and using magic and universal power and stuff. Like stuff monks use, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've heard of vibrational. I've heard the vibrational theory.
To me that's magic. You know what I mean?
It's techno magic, I guess.
It's also science too, if you think about it.
True. Maybe magic is science.
Yeah, no, a lot of people agree magic is science.
You know what I mean? Because, like, what
But
else?
we call that stuff occult now. Because then that's like secret knowledge.
We were called Satanism back then, and they'd burn you on a stake, dude.
Probably.
Or would they kill you? Galileo, who was it? I think all of them. Plato, didn't all of them have to kill themselves?
Yeah. Didn't Galileo admit the Earth might have been flat, or did I just read up some bullshit on the internet? At one point.
I don't remember him ever saying that, dude. That'd be wild. He'd be like, "Yeah, I take it all back. It's flat." It's like Voltaire because he was like really anti-religious when on his deathbed. This priest come up to him and they were like, "Now that you're dying, would you like to take this time to renounce Satan and admit that the Catholic Church is the correct God?" And he said, now, you naive young man, now's not the time to be making enemies." You know what I'm saying? He's basically saying, I'm not going to talk shit on Satan if I'm about to go to hell, because my whole life's been spent saying that God's not real. Satan's not real. So I'm not going to sit there and, make friends with or make enemies with that guy. But that is wild in that sense of all that. Like, if you think about it, in time, like, it all got washed away. All of them talk about a flood, right?
Yeah.
All of them talk about, like, a flood.
It's the most common thing for an asteroid to do is create a great flood. But do you not think that our technology should be far more advanced than what it is?
Compared to what it is now?
If we lived beyond the idea of serving self. And
have we, though?
No, I'm saying if we move beyond the idea of serving self,
okay,
we could be further along technology-wise. Because all the advancements in the end create autonomy, which is greater for the greater good.
I get what you're saying. But I think people care too much about themselves right now. I don't
and that's why I say our technology is not advancing. Like, imagine if I'm not putting him on a pedestal. I know he has a lot of failed ideas, good ideas, a lot of fucking ideas, and just money to throw around.
When you say he, who do you mean?
Oh, Musk.
Oh, okay.
So imagine if a lot of scientists or engineers or scholars that came up with ideas
like me
wanted to put everyone first in a sense. I'm not saying he necessarily does it, but he does it more than most.
Or that's what you're told.
Or that's what we're told.
Yeah.
But so you get rid of the idea of serving self and serving all the greater good, which is in the end like a new world order, because then that works for all.
See, is that bad? Okay, I'll let you continue, but I have another question. Don't let me forget about NWO.
I'm on the fence, because it could benefit all.
Yeah. Is that what you want?
That's what you want, but we live in a world where people serve self. So serving all, we're serving few because they want to be in control and they're just serving their self. But for what, though? Like, that means there's another tier above them and them, because they're not only serving themselves, they're serving something else. And it's not us.
Could a fucking AI understand that? Could you program that?
Speaking of AI, the advancement of AI in the last few years,
it's scary.
Right.
And someone said this. They said by 2035 that the singularity, or 2040, is when the singularity would probably happen. And at this speed, I'm not so much of a skeptic as I once was.
No, but speaking of AI, imagine you playing the game, but you're not really here playing the game. You're here experiencing you as Kyle Troutman, but
Like, I'm the game?
the player, could be me playing you because I want to experience you, and really you're me that's trying to play the game. Like,
Then I'm sorry, bro.
right, but AI could set that up.
That's what I'm saying.
There's a new Black Mirror episode that's kind of like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't followed a Black Mirror since, like, the 5th episode.
Oh,
Not
some
because
of
they suck, but because I'm lazy. I haven't looked.
Yeah.
That's wild. So what are you saying? Like,
How do we really know that you're Kyle and I'm Frank?
I don't
With
believe
the way
you're Frank.
the way the rate AI is going right now.
Maybe you died a million years ago, bro.
Probably.
How do we know that I am not and you are not a simulation to see how Kyle and Frank react? Maybe we did something
Because I could
crazy.
take
Dude.
this and be like Indiana Jones,
You
those
could.
people, and take out my heart.
Yeah,
But then that could be just a simulation in itself.
yeah, and you have to
You
come
wouldn't
back.
even know it.
No,
Yeah. Put that down. It's kind of scary.
with you, dude.
Not gonna carve out your heart.
Dude, you're not gonna. You're recovering for a while, dude. It's a little fucking thing, dude.
No, it's not. They're all the same size, bud.
Mine's real smaller.
Metaphorically.
Metaphorically, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Singularity, 2040.
What do you think? I think we're right on course.
I'll be.
When I was young, like, and I remember hearing this.
I'll
when I
be
was-
60 years old.
Yeah, I remember hearing this when I was young. I'm like, I'll be 60-ish. Will I care? Will I care? As a,
What if that could extend your life?
I'm sure it could.
What would you? But we wouldn't be wealthy enough to have our life extended.
I don't. Yeah, I think.
Or do you think there'd be tiers of life extension?
We'd have to
Like,
live
we'd have-
my life.
But okay, check it out. So let's say there's base tiers.
Okay.
Then we can only afford the base tier. But for life extension, we'd be working, slaving peons.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I would have
What
to
if,
have.
what if they bound you to a contract for eternity?
Well, they couldn't because I won't do it. I would have to fucking.
They could still kill you and bring you back to life.
That's true.
So how do you say no?
That's immortal slavery,
right,
dude.
but some people say we live on a prison planet, so it technically checks out. So the rich, they can be rich and powerful at life extension, and it's still the same game, except
Yeah, but we
more-
don't even know if we're in the simulation or not.
Right.
So we
Because
can't
you
break
just
out.
come back and you think, oh, I'm just mining this moon ore.
Yo, what if I break out and then the moment I break out,
It's like the
delete?
Matrix.
No, it's delete.
There's
What
no-
if I'm not a real human being? What if you're not real? What if we are the combination of coding? You don't think about that. You fucking.
DNA is coding.
It is in essence.
Yeah, it's organic coding.
Yes, and
but
I'm
who's to say on a microscopic level, it's not these neural bots with all this like silicone code, and we don't even realize it.
It's fucking gnarly, dude.
Like with the white and red blood cells pumping through our body, who's to say? Well, technically, it is code that rewrites or fixes stuff.
Well, even those could be like a simple fucking code thing.
Yeah, it's all binary ones and zeros, and we don't even realize it.
So what
Like
if?
we're already transhumanists.
What if you're not even real, Frank? What if you're not even real? You believe you're real. What if you bleed, you feel it all? Because you're supposed to. And maybe that's the trigger protocol to help you from deleting
That's what monks do. They ignore all those feelings and they go to a meditative state where they can harness the ether of the universe
they, though?
and do crazy shit.
it. Do they, though, Frank?
We're led to believe they do. I don't know. This must be interesting.
I have
for
2
you.
cigarettes in each hand, dude.
2 cigarettes.
You got me stressing. I'm thinking about altered realities now. This is for each of the cryptos, dude. They're out there.
But
Keep going.
You
Wait.
need all the packs of cigarettes then for all the cryptos.
I don't know if this is kind of a self-discipline thing I do. I don't know. I'm wild. I don't care. That's a major thing. But you're right.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, where do you put yourself with believing that you're not really real and you're just...
Well, after this this conversation has kind of fucking sparked a little spark in my mind, but...
Where do you put yourself? Just
40%?
one organic human being that just gonna die eventually and nothing more happens to you?
Yes.
But there's a 40%...
No, that's not true. I don't believe that. I believe in the antenna theory, the alignment shit that Tesla put out. Basically that our brains are just, I think I might have said it before, I'm going to repeat it again, AOC. Sorry, drinking. Alright. So, I believe that your brain is an antenna. And somewhere out there, I don't know where, everything that's ever known, that's ever been gonna happen, everything that can happen, all the shit in your life, all that shit is just in a one composite area. Think of it like a black hole or a dot. Okay? And a broadcast.
Everything that's going to happen has already happened.
Yes, it's already done. It's done. But it's not that it controls what happened, but it's already happened. We have to go back. So they have that dot that broadcasts everything. The human brain, I think, is the antenna. So the person that has the brain that aligns with the frequency of what is given out, that's you. That's Frank. Mine might be a little off. That's Kyle. A little bit off. You can do that at a number of increments in all directions and universe.
So if everything that hasn't happened has already happened.
Yes.
Kind of sounds like a simulation because it's already scripted out and coded.
If you have to make me call it, it would probably be closer to a simulation. Yeah.
So
but I can't help that.
But with that theory, you in essence think we live in a simulation.
Probably, yes.
I've never heard you say that till now.
What other...
Because you've always been the devil's advocate against it.
Well, yeah, because I think, like, you would probably self-destruct, but if it's possible, like the guy said, then it's had to happen. If the possibility existed, and we are on an infinitum, it's had to happen. You can't say it can't. If you give me an infinite amount of chances to throw a ball at your face from 100 yards away...
So, let me stop you there.
Okay.
The next chance you get, do you think you're going to drink and do all that stuff, or do you think you would do things differently?
I think I'd do it all the same. I think there's probably a minuscule thing in there.
That will make you change the next round.
Yeah.
How do we not know? So that's like kind of like
can't know.
That's like what a lot of New Age people like D will talk about karmic lessons. You remember us talking about karmic lessons?
Yes.
Those little karmic lessons, you have to figure them out to fix the next step of the game.
Yes.
So how do we find that?
Most people, they say, don't realize they're in it.
And so they're stuck in the loop.
They're in a loop.
That's all this is. This is a loop.
Until they learn and they listen to, like, you know what I mean? Like,
but
the other people.
Like, don't you think
we could have had the same conversation like $85 million.
Yeah, so, like, I'm Frank Infinite. You're Kyle Infinite.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean to take your life for granted.
I know, but don't you think it's bullshit that you get a minuscule chance to switch things up?
Yeah. Do I think it's fair? But guess what? Life's not fair.
That's not fair at all.
It's not fair. Why are these less talented people on stage? Why are these people famous? Why are millionaire rapists, or why are all these rapists getting paid to play catch for millions of dollars? And professional sporting events?
Then you gotta realize, what the fuck did you do in the previous loop that put you where you were?
Oh, I can imagine.
Right?
I can imagine, dude. I must have been a sadistic son of a bitch. What about you? What do you think he did?
My ex always said she always believed I was a person in power.
Maybe because those are the people that don't that aren't afraid to try
And-
new things. They're not
No,
intimidated.
she meant
by
like
shit.
I was probably a person in power. Now I have to reap what I sow.
She might be fucking right, bro.
Yeah.
I was told that too. I was told that maybe you did something really bad.
Like,
And
did I create genocide or something?
You could be. You don't know. You could be Genghis fucking Khan, Frank. You don't fucking know.
Well, at all one point, I feel like we probably were. That was an experience in the loop.
I don't remember any Genghis Khan like dreams I've ever had. Now I have had medieval kind of dreams,
Me too. It's weird.
and I die in all of them, which is kind of weird.
I was never like a peasant or a farmer in medieval
I was.
dreams. I was all. Clearly, I remember a medieval dream. I was in a library. I was just going through books.
And
Then vaguely remembered telling people, well, you need to do this, you need to do this, or this is going to happen, or you need to do this, or I'm going to do this.
I remember several, I don't know, nightmares, dreams, or whatever. It's simple shit, not shit you would dream about. But I remember like once, like I was fighting a dude with a sword, and he stabbed me in the neck, and I could like literally feel like the blood. Like he must have got like an artery or something. It's like warmth, and like I woke up thinking I pissed myself or something. You know, and I like woke up
Do
like
you think
what?
that's a glimpse into your loot?
I think maybe that was. I think that maybe that was.
I've been shot in multiple dreams.
Me too. And people say like you never jump up if you hit the bottom at the
Like, literally, I was lit up, and it literally, like,
opened up.
split me in half, like, where my torso was in fucking half. And, like, kind of like you, felt like I was pissing myself. But I had no feeling down there.
Is that fucking weird?
Dreams shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, what the fuck? The goddamn Chinese are hacking our satellites. Gay, we gay, doing gay shit. Gay people probably do every day. Well, it looks like Doc Holliday. I am Doc Holliday. That's why. They modeled him and the Bible after me, roughly. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Ideas from pretty cool people. Well, you know, schools and shit. It's cool. Champion belt. Artists, swords. Oh, you can't. That was a battle axe over there. Fencer. Dude, you gotta be here, dude. There's a whole museum of cool shit. And there's my co-host over here, Franklin.
What's up,
Franklin the Hawaiian.
Filipino?
Whatever. I thought it was Puerto Rican. 29 years. No, I don't know.
39?
39. How old are you?
I'll be 40 in a couple weeks.
Me too.
Is that weird?
Do you feel any... Okay, we'll get back to the shit, but...
I feel like I should be further along in life.
Really? What do you feel? Are you down on yourself about it?
What do you mean?
Like you just said, you feel you should be further along in life.
Yeah,
Like,
I think we all should. There's...
do you ever think like some of us are just like ousted to be fucked?
Yeah. But not really, because I feel like if we're ousted to be fucked, there's a reason we're ousted to be fucked, and we're probably not accountable by our actions, therefore we get fucked. Or
Yeah.
at some point in our life, we weren't accountable, We're slowly coming back to becoming accountable. It's just harder to get over the mountain because you have so much more weight to carry over the mountain for the lack of accountability
I like
in your
it.
previous years.
What about do you ever think like maybe you were given like a better life than you were supposed to?
Yeah, sometimes I think that too.
Like they're just throwing you that because they were like you did something good, and they were like, "Yo,
Now you gotta experience this.
you gotta like blah blah blah." You get to, not you got to. You get to. You know what I'm saying? What if you came from hell? Like, what do you like? I think it was Einstein that said I lived a billion years before this moment, and I didn't ask to know these things. And I'm sure when I'm dead, I'll live a billion years more. You know what I mean?
I don't quite gather that.
It's,
So did he believe that you live multiple lives?
I don't think so.
So how do you live a billion moments before and a billion moments after?
But he was saying up in because
or does a
the
human
Earth's-
being have a billion moments in one lifetime?
Oh, maybe he does remember.
Oh, you said years.
Well, he was comparing it to like I think the birth of the Earth or whatever. You know what I mean? Before Earth was made. I said it was 4 billion years
We
ago.
technically don't know how long Earth was made. We based
we
it off
don't.
on science that we pulled out of our ass.
Mm. Well, that's kind of not true. You can tell based on
Core samples, radiation,
radiation.
rays.
Yes, that's how because you can
But who's
actually.
to say something didn't happen on Earth that could wipe out all the radiation? Then all of a sudden it resets that shit. So we're basing off the science of radiation.
We're basing off of what we fucking know.
I know, but like 200 years ago, what we thought we knew is completely different than what we know now.
Absolutely. But
You see what
fucking.
I'm saying, though?
But look how it's been moving. Like 200 years ago, if you had like you got shot in like the gut, Frank, the doctor would come out of the fucking cow field, out of his farm. He probably owns it. Go prodding around in your wounds, see if you can feel your shit. They didn't know. They didn't even know dinosaurs existed 200 years ago.
2,000 years before that, you could have got shot with a plasma ray and a doctor would come up and do some science and fix that.
Maybe, but they're not around. That's the thing.
Because
They're
that
gone.
civilization was wiped out. So 200 years ago, still primitive.
But now ask yourself this: if they were that sophisticated, you don't think they knew how shit floated?
They
Yeah.
probably did. They give us little hints in architecture and design over the centuries.
Maybe. Believe me, Frank.
I know.
You know, I study the ancient buildings.
Yeah, I know you do.
I don't love it. But I don't think there's anything that represents a boat. Like, the Nordics
There's
had
starships.
starships, yeah.
We
But they're
rep-
not sailing, they're flying.
I know a lot of stuff from our history represents that stuff. Why?
Are you leaning towards the side that, like, this is all starship shit? Like, we're fucking aliens? Or, like, what, alien slaves? The Anunnaki shit?
Yeah, I believe we're alien slaves.
You think we were alien slaves and
Yeah,
they just left because they were like, fuck.
12,600 from years from now, or close enough, we'll figure out why.
Huh.
Because what isn't it? Someone correct me. I feel like it's 12.6. Something catastrophic always happens on Earth,
Okay.
and that aligns with those asteroid belts.
Yeah, I remember 12, 6 years ago, that's like a generic fucking guess. But
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some people think we're pretty close to it. Some people think we're far off. When was the last catastrophic thing that happened?
Some people believe like something happened that fucking forced us all. Some
And
people.
it's in a loop, a cycle of 12.6.
Yeah, but it's not always fucking natural disasters
Right.
though. There's the giant
But
theory.
things, starships could create natural disasters.
Yeah, if they're that sophisticated, yeah.
Like something coming into our orbit could rain down hellfire, and we think it's asteroids. We don't know.
That's true.
It could disrupt the gravity, and when our gravity is disrupted, there's more earthquakes, there's more seismic activity, there's more tidal waves, raises the ocean, floods.
Have you heard about the giant theory?
Enlighten me.
Nephilims and all that, like we talk about in the Bible and other books
Oh, okay.
too. I'm sure you're aware what the Nephilim are.
Prometheus, the movie based in the Aliens universe. Those guys on those ships, those giants,
they were the engineers.
The engineers were based off Nephilim, right?
I guess I never watched the movie, so
Well, you would enjoy that movie.
I'll check it out.
No, you really would.
But they basically say that, like, when that happened, the angels, maybe aliens, came and they mated with humans that created these giants. And there was a bunch of them. And then there's only like 4 left at the time that it was historically, if you consider the Bible a historical document, there's only like 4 left alive. One of them, Goliath, which I'm sure everyone knows about. Blah, blah, blah. But they would get so huge. But they said that they couldn't reproduce. Like after said event, after this flood or whatever, the ones that were left couldn't create more than film. So they kept dying off. They kept getting smaller and smaller until there was 4. There was Goliath, there was like 3 more. And I'm sorry, I know I should know the names of these other 3. Because they have burial mounds and everything, as does Goliath.
For real?
Yeah.
Have they dug them up?
No.
Why? Are we allowed?
Religious fucking circumstance. It's a whole.
Imagine digging that shit up and finding giant bones. What would you do?
You know, they found in Pennsylvania, right? Not even 20 minutes from here.
What?
They allegedly dug up 12 human skeletons, 10 to 12 feet high. Some of them had, you know how we get omnivores, we have the back teeth that are flattened?
Yeah.
These things, they're just sharp. So they're primordial, like, they were carnivores on the thing. And the Indians of that area tell stories of giants that would wage a war, like, and like steal them off.
Where was this at?
This is in Pennsylvania, all out through the whole Americas. And actually, I think the last ones they said were in Lovelock Cave, and that was California, and that was they said they were red-haired, and they were huge, and kind of like Bigfoot, but not. You know what I mean? Cavemen, and they kept coming to steal their fucking people out of their village, and they would eat them. And eventually, this village had enough, and they waged complete war. But there were so little giants left that they couldn't compete, and they cornered them in this cave. Look this up. It's Lovelock Cave. I think it might be Nevada.
I thought Lobach was in Texas.
Huh?
You said Lubbock.
Lovelock.
Oh.
Lovelock. Okay. And what they did, because they didn't want to fight who was left, they piled shrubbery in the entrance of the cave, and they set it all on fire. And they smothered the last giants to death in North America. You ever hear that story?
No. How legit is it?
Pretty. People talk about it. I don't know. I wasn't fucking there, obviously. They have a whole tourist attraction and shit, though. If you want to go, Lovelock Cave, and they say that's the death.
If we turn AOC into an LLC, we could write it off and go.
I don't think we got. We need more viewers. We're 900 subscribers short from doing what you're talking about. You need to get more subscribers on the channel, dude.
Giants.
But I've seen ghost hunters go there for paranormal activity, looking for like skinwalkers and shit. Because apparently a lot of Indians died in that battle because they had to battle them to get them back into the cave. And as soon as they in
So
there,
for those out there, what is a skinwalker?
as far as I know, it's like a shape-shifting person. They took upon the dark arts, or I've heard cannibalism. They've eaten human flesh and shit. And they made a pact or whatever. Whatever it is, like
Will they get stronger if they're eating humans?
Yeah, or
So
something.
we go with the idea that there's neurotechnology in our bloodstream. It rewrites their genetic code when they ingest us.
Possibly.
Just like vampires taking blood to rewrite their genetic code.
Very possibly, but we're out here on the East Coast. This is more of like a West Coast. You know, maybe, I've never seen a skinwalker. I might have seen Bigfoot once or twice, dude. I don't know, but skinwalkers, I haven't. Are you aware of like all the?
Yeah, whenever I read about skinwalkers, it's in the like out west, Texas, Midwest.
Remember, Sam he pulled a card out of the deck of Destiny once. He didn't even know what the fuck it meant. He didn't even know what a skin. I'm like, how do you not know what a fucking skinwalker is?
You
What?
should know.
Do you believe in that kind of shit?
I believe in Wendigos, so yeah, I'd have to believe.
What's
in
that?
It's like the rotting deer Native American like cryptid that roams and eats the flesh of human beings, right?
I always have a hard time with the Wendigo and the skinwalker.
Kind of like I heard a Wendigo can shapeshift too, but usually, supposedly, if you're roughing it, you're up hiking and stuff in the middle of the night and you smell something atrocious. It usually like has antlers. It's kind of like a deer, but not a deer. Like, is it on the cryptid map? I don't know. Like, there's different variations of what they look like.
That's what I'm saying.
To some, it could be just like a banshee, and you're like, you know.
I also heard the one, I don't know which one it is, it might be that one. They're like, you hear calls,
Yeah.
they have screams, and the further it sounds away,
The closer.
the closer it is to you.
Yeah.
And if it sounds close, it's probably further away. But it wants a reaction to know what to do. Is that the kind of shit you're
Kinda, yeah.
Do you think that's like a real thing that like actually fucking happens?
I think it could be possible.
Out of all of them, out of all the cryptids out there, what do you think is the most likely to be a real fucking thing?
Nessie.
Oh, Loch Ness Monster. That's my fave. That's my baby, dude. Why? What do you think that is? I heard the leech theory is really. I used to have an old book from the '60s and I lost it. Or
Leech
someone's-
theory. What do you mean?
But that is. Earlier, you said even about how the atmosphere and the oxygen level made bigger things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everything was bigger back then. And these people believe that there's like a form of leech, like it lives in a pond. You know what I mean? But also,
Like, kind of looks like a giant carrion worm.
yeah, like a big worm, like a water worm. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've seen them before, but they're weird to look at. Like,
I think stuff like that can be possible. Look, giant sharks still exist. Giant krakens, like, you know what I mean? Not krakens, but giant squid. Things still grow huge in the ocean.
and we still don't know what's all
Yeah.
down there, dude. I think it's definitely a possibility. I love that kind of shit, though. I think that kind of shit makes you think about life and, like,
What's the most likely cryptid to you?
man, I got favorites. I got the most likely, like,
What's the most likely?
chupacabra.
I think that's just a mutated dog down in Mexico.
Well, I think it's a mutated species of dog. I think it's no, not dog, coyote, because that would be, you know what I mean. I
But
think
they're
it's-
magical, right?
I never heard that. I heard some crazy shit with spines off their back and shit, like lizard shit. But if you look at all those like reports compared to like the numerous reports, they never say that. They all say it's like a dog. It looks like a dog that fucking.
So this map up here is just North American cryptids.
Yeah. That's
Doesn't Asia like have something with like a fox with multiple heads?
Yeah.
What-
nine-tail fox.
Yeah, what is that?
That's like a more of a magical fucking.
Yeah, because with the 9 tails, it could fucking fly and like lift
Oh.
itself up.
Allegedly, Japan and those Asian cultures have a lot. They have a lot of cool ones.
Do you
too.
have a global cryptid map? Like,
No, I should probably get one, dude. That's what
I feel like American cryptids are scary and creepy. Where you go to Asian, they're magical and cute and like.
Yeah, yeah. No,
What
you're right.
are other than Nessie? What other cryptids are over in like Europe?
Europe, you have the black cats. In Europe, like panthers, black lions. They're worried about them creeping.
Black lions.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if you ever heard of that. What else do they got? Oh, they have the banshees, of course.
Yeah.
They have a lot of ghostly paranormal.
Like medieval kind of stuff.
Yeah, they have a lot of paranormal shit. A lot of sea serpents because of the locks. They have a lot of ponds compared to,
Yeah.
or we call them ponds. Or
What about Africa?
Oh, dude, Africa has a shitload, dude. They have Mokele Mum. Isn't that where Mokele Mumbi comes from? Orang Padak. That's like the Hobbit of the known world.
See, I don't know much about global cryptids.
But there's got to be some shit out there, dude.
Hawaii, the Hawaii's cryptids, the Menehune.
Oh, say it again.
The Menehune, the little small people.
They build walls, and if you address them,
Oh, you did watch more videos and learn about them?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You kind of remind me of like European like leprechauns.
Yeah, that's kind of how it struck me as. But they had some kind of grievance, right? They were like, they built walls.
And fish ponds and stuff like that.
But if you did something, they'd fucking, like, not like you or something.
They come after you.
I forgot what it was, though.
People sometimes describe them as like little critters, but like kind of islander looking, like critter mixed with leprechaun, but like on a little fucking island.
And you guys also have the fucking,
Night marchers. Yep.
Yeah. You ever hear about that shit? Like,
Yeah, when we'd go outside at night and you always heard war drums.
So you think that's a real? You think night marchers are the real thing?
I was always raised to believe they were real.
And you ever hear them with your own like shit?
I've heard drums at night and felt cold presence, but it could have been a breeze and it could have been someone playing drums somewhere else. But they sound like war drums, you know?
Yeah, so and but I've heard like accounts online or whatever.
But often
Whatever.
they're your ancestors.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm saying like sometimes you could see your ancestor, and if you could find your ancestor, then you're safe. But how the hell do you know?
Oh, you could do that?
Like
I didn't know
that's
you could
one.
do
That's
that.
one of the things people say.
I heard two different things. I heard one, you had to turn your head away.
Oh yeah, always turn. You can't look at
You
them.
can't look at them. You have to let them do their march. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And then I heard another kind of like that, like if you see your ancestors. But I also heard that night you would die
Yeah,
because you have to join now.
Yeah.
That's what they're coming.
But you're kind of saved in essence.
Okay. Yeah, I guess in spiritual belief. How much credence do you give to spirituality though in this world? Like, do you think it's? You know, I ghost hunt. You know, I'm a firm believer in. I don't know, a firm believer, but I really want to be the guy that captures a ghost. Like, I got you. Like, this is true. I'm not lying. I'm not bullshitting. This is a ghost. This is real. There's something going on here. I really want
You
that.
really want to catch a ghost.
Yeah.
But what if, like, for you, what if, like, really it's just gatekeeping, right? You find this ghost. Then
Okay.
You free it in a sense. You let it over from the nether to over here.
I didn't say anything about freeing nothing.
But I'm saying your presence to acknowledge it gives it, like, a freedom.
Okay.
Like, would you be cool with that? Then the spirit just terrorizes shit. And you're like,
Wait, the spirit's gone? I wouldn't be cool with that. I would
Yeah.
then seek to fucking contain it, obviously.
But I'm just saying, what if that happens?
I'm fully prepared.
What if like all the serial killers in the world, right?
Okay.
Cross paths, and they're like, oh, I finally caught this spirit, I finally caught this ghost, and all of a sudden this evil's unleashed.
I don't think that'll happen.
You
I
don't
think to
so?
be that evil, you probably have a quite a unique personality strain or whatever to even do that. Sorry, I'm trying not to burp. But they, like, I get it, being that mad at the world. Yeah, this sounds fucked up. I get it. I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying, like, you identify that. You don't think you identify that? Like,
I don't think you could.
you don't think you could?
I don't think you could identify that.
I think it could
Think
happen.
the power or the source just overcomes you, and it's like, oh,
Do you believe
you
in?
opened up the gate.
Do you believe
Go
in?
play.
Do you believe in the spiritual world?
Yeah, I believe in the spiritual world.
How
So,
much?
It's energy, and all that stuff comes from a source.
Are you?
I think there's limits on time on how long an energy is going to be around.
I kind of have that same view.
I feel like when you're in this living presence in this meat carriage, like you still have these lessons. Those lessons don't go away because the meat carriage is gone.
Yeah.
And you still have to find your way. And until you find your way, you can't get back to the source.
Oh, I like that.
And that's why there's hauntings, because people are trapped. So
Okay.
you're disconnected from the source till the lessons are fulfilled, or you, as in the Bible or whatever, repent to redeem yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not
like-
much of a Bible thumper.
But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
you still have to come to terms with things if you're a spirit or if you're in the meat carriage. Like, it's not going to be that easy to go back to the source. It
Yeah.
can't be that easy, because life's not fair. From earlier, life's not fair living
What
or
makes you
dead.
say the source? Remember, I just said that shit about the antenna.
Right,
on the
so
other
that
shit?
point could be the source, technically,
Right.
depending on your belief. So,
That's not a belief to me. I think that's like
I
a
know,
scientific
but
fucking.
to others, like, you know what I mean? To them, it's a belief. But to me, that's the source. Like, what you described is a source.
Yeah, that's fucking.
And
wild.
to get back to it, though, you need to do your fulfillment.
But what if your fulfillment is to do exactly what you're doing?
Then
and
you wouldn't.
And then the source spits you back out. I was like, okay, good job.
I know, but then you
Go.
wouldn't be stuck then in that.
No,
What do
not
they
in
call
this
it?
sense.
Bardo?
What do you
You're
mean?
stuck in the in between.
Purgatory.
Well, there's Bardo and there's Purgatory.
Oh, I don't know what Bardo is.
Bardo.
I've never heard of this, my friend. Is this like wrapped around like a certain religion or belief, for that matter?
I'll tell you in a second. Bardo's always been in my wheelhouse.
Oh, that's not new. I am purgatory. That's where you're like in between.
Oh, well, Bardo is the state of existence intermediate between two lives on Earth.
That's more of a reincarnation thing, right?
So, to get back to the point or the source, technically, going back to the loop would, in sense, to some, based on definition, being reincarnated.
Yeah.
So if you haven't made your fulfillment, then you'd be stuck in Bardo. Religious texts like the Bible would say purgatory. So Bardo and purgatory are essentially the same.
Okay. But I don't think the Bible acknowledges you come back. But
No,
I
it-
believe you come back. I think you have to.
Right, but in the Bible, purgatory is a state of being stuck before
Yeah. You go either way. There's no
Right.
There's no transition.
So Bardo is being stuck between the here and now and the source.
and I think
Or
that's
purgatory is between hell and heaven, right?
Yeah.
Right, so to them, heaven's the source.
Okay.
Because once you get to heaven, you're still living.
Yeah.
So in essence, you're reincarnated in heaven. You go to hell, you're reincarnated in hell, going through all levels of hell. So technically,
Do you think that's real? I think there's levels of hell.
I think hell is the world around us that we create.
Yeah. What do you think? What if I were? Yeah. What if I were to tell you hell is the world you're living in right now?
Right. So my hell would be
And you can only do one thing, which is what?
nothing.
Try to fix it.
Try to fix it. So hell to me is all the consequences of all my actions.
But you
Therefore, not being where I want in life.
But this could be the consequence of all your acts. This could be the consequence of 1,000. Of
Right,
your
right.
actions. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
I can look back and say, oh, this happened because this happened.
Exactly.
This is an action because this is a consequence because of these actions, tenfold or threefold. How's it? Everything comes back threefold or tenfold?
Whatever. When you make a bargain, they say tenfold.
Right, but I remember I was having a conversation with Dee. We were locked on a specific number. Was it 3 or 10?
I forgot that. I don't know. But I did see some shit that she won't like. Because she said, remember she was saying that she was an empath. Remember that? She lent me a book called Dark Psychology, just sitting right behind me.
Which isn't really empathetic. It's more manipulation.
Yes. Anyone that would say that they're an empath
Is manipulating the situation in their favor.
Yes. They said a class A narcissist. Because no one would honestly believe they can understand how another person feels unless they actually had power.
A lot of empaths I know, people could call them narcissists.
Oh, I believe it. When I started reading about it, it's actually a book called Dark Psychology.
Yeah, it's just a book on manipulation. It's like the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene or the 50 Power of Mastery by Robert Greene. Just books.
Well, I have all of Robert Greene's books, so I understand.
Right, I love Robert Greene.
I'm not sure of that for.
Well, I enjoy Robert Greene. People think like I'm a control freak because I like Robert Greene.
Really, people come at you like that? Like,
Well, people that know who Robert Greene is, or like scholars that might have touched base on him in classes, are like, "Oh, that's just like
I don't think they
narcissistic minute buck now."
They teach Robert Greene.
And that's how my buddy found about Robert Greene.
Really?
He was a philosophy major, so obviously a lot of classes, a lot of books, a lot of.
What did he turn his career to when he realized he couldn't fucking make any money in philosophy?
Well, I have another buddy that majored in philosophy, finished his master's of philosophy at UConn.
I would love to be a fucking philosophy.
Now he's a corporate lawyer.
Maybe he's just a really smart guy.
No, philosophy plays a huge role in ethics and law and stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you really think about it, like.
Yeah, what about people like me
as far as the other friend, he walks dogs and Ubers in Oakland.
Really? I'm just saying, like, you could be right as.
Love you, Spidey Hands. Just saying.
Spidey?
Yeah, it's an inside joke.
I get you. But, like, that's weird.
He'd always, like, talk like this. One time, we're, like, recording videos of, like, the psychedelic experience.
Okay.
And he'd be like, is this what it's really like? I'm going external with my internal monologue. Is this life? Is this existence? Then he started going on about like Immanuel Kant and stuff. And
what
like,
the fuck?
Yeah, I was like, how many hits are you on?
Holy shit.
But
dude.
yeah, then he'd do like the Spidey hand things, like
Oh. I didn't get it. I never called him the Spidey hands. Crack his hands.
Then he goes into his internal monologue about existence, and I think that moment he went into an existential crisis.
Really?
Yeah.
I like
all the philosophy shit caught up with him in that moment.
I believe it's possible because I've been caught up, like in my head, a lot with Why am I here? Why do I have to watch all these people die that I love and care about?
Yeah.
That's been like why put me here if you're just gonna take everything away? You know what I mean? Then a part of me is like, at least you get to see. Then another part is, what's better? Do you get to see or not get to
But
see?
then you're learning the lesson of existence that we're conditioned to accept of life
Yeah,
and
but
death.
that'd be pointless, so in the long run, unless
Is it
there
though?
is. Yeah, because if nothing exists, then it's.
Well, there's little lessons in each of those
For what though? If I'm done,
for you.
I'm done though.
But you think you're done. There's something you're not taking away from each of those situations.
So, you
taken away
believe in
from
the comeback.
taken away from each of the situations, you can pinpoint where things went wrong to those close to you that are no longer here. And essentially, like, you are not you and they are not them, but you are them, so you can take away from that to fix and better whatever you need to fulfill here to be in your loop and to understand that, right? Like,
You're
like
making that way heavy.
but example is, dude, right? You have, like, let's say I have a best friend.
You don't.
Dude,
I'm joking.
he or she was like
See,
smoking crack
Stopped.
or banging dope, right? And they got taken away.
Yeah, all my
So to
friends
take
are dead.
away from that, there's a lesson. It's really fundamental. It's like, well, don't go down that path, and you're gonna extend your life longer. But then, in essence, you're looking at it as like, why did they smoke the crack?
Yeah.
Why did they bang
Why?
the dope?
Why?
What put them there in the first place?
Well, I can get that because I know how
Right, but then I'm
depression
saying there's
works and shit.
there's different situations in each of the deaths, and there's a takeaway. Some of them are good takeaways. That's like, oh, they lived a fulfilled life. Like, I don't want to be sad. I want to live a fulfilled life. What did they do that allowed them to live a fulfilled life? See, each of the deaths have something for you to gain.
All right, here's one for you then. So, you would die happy if.
I would die happy if knowing the people I loved were able to fill their lives without struggling, but I struggle as part of existence.
So, worry is your main.
Dude, I'm a worry rat. I worry about everything.
Really?
Yeah.
So, you would just be happy living your life knowing that everybody is okay.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. There's gotta be
Is that more empathetic because you were worrying about all these people
I don't know.
than saying you're empathetic?
I just got yelled at by my mom today about the same shit.
But you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, so you feel that way? You worry about the other people around you.
Yeah, even though if I shouldn't have to worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's not what you just do, alright? But who are the main fucking shits in your... Yeah, I know your children, and
I'd say my kids.
that's it though.
Yeah. And friends.
So what are you gonna do when your kids are like, you're 20 and they're going off to live their own life and do their own thing? Like, Owen, I was...
Die of anxiety because I would worry too much.
Really?
And it shouldn't be that way. Like, that's something I have to do with myself to not worry so much. Right? So in there lies fear.
Because you know that day will come. You know
Right,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like, I just see my boy roll up to me with a brand new truck and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he was telling me what he was doing, all that shit. And I'm like, you didn't tell me nothing about any of this. And I think that was a way of him showing me that he's fully capable of
Right.
surviving. And
You should be proud of that.
I am. I'm absolutely.
And in turn, worry less.
But it also, no, because it puts you back in perspective. Guess what? This time has happened. This time has passed. Now you're here. You notice how like, time seems to speed up?
But for you, it slowed down and you gained clarity of the situation.
Yeah, but that's not the point of it, though, bro.
No, we don't know what the point of any of this is.
So what is it? What is it? I'm not trying to ask you to give me the meaning of life, but I'm saying, like, we all
think
do
for
this.
us to be less concerned about it and just live, right?
Is it
Because
just
who said life is just a comedy?
Uh,
Someone famous always said life is just a comedy, don't take it too seriously. Live, enjoy, be accountable, exist. Be on your path.
Yeah, I just try to be nice, dude.
But
People
then-
talk shit to me. I'm
But
just
you
like,
notice people steer from their path when they worry, or they over-examine, or if they overthink. So
Yeah, I
in
think
turn,
everyone
in
does.
turn, it prevents you from living.
It does.
Yeah.
It absolutely does.
Well, this has been a weird episode.
Yeah, it's been fun. This has been very weird.
Ugh.
But it's been I think it's been kind of interesting.
Alright, food towards.
You guys will know before we
Got one more for you.
Alright.
What do you call a Chinese banker?
Chinodo.
Cha-ching. Stop Asian hate.
Salvation, dude. This fucking guy is racist.
Speaking of that, I was told I was the most racist person in the kitchen I work in.
You might be. You might be. I don't know. You're allowed to feel the way you want to feel.
We're going back to the source.
I can't stop you because
No, you can't. I am Frankwan. You can find me at Frankwan570 on the Instagram. And if you're on Facebook, you can join the Agents of Calamity group. Or go to www.agentsofcalamity.com. And we need 900 more subscribers. Therefore, I need to put better effort into finding subscribers. Then we can make this an LLC. Then we can go to Lovelock Cave and find giants and write it off. Thank you, U.S. government.
You want to see us chase down giants in the fucking western border? We need 900.
More subscribers.
Come on, you can do it. You're out there.
And air miles if you can loan them to us.
I'm sure they'll pay us. Yeah. www.agentsofcalamity.com. You know what we do. We don't know what we do. That's what we do. We just run it. You guys watch, and it's fun. Thank you. Join the Facebook group today, and Instagram at AOC Operatives, and Twitter _Operatives AOC. I don't. Do giants exist? This is crazy shit.